Ninjas in Pajamas, and VP Prodigy especially in that other group that you do not want to face into unless you have an extra life on the line.
Yep. This one gonna be interesting, and I think just some different picks coming out, especially from the Nigma camp. They've gone a bit more unconventional, with a support Mirana being used to deal with the Phoenix. They're gonna be looking at an aggro tri-lane with Luna, so this could be the first game where we don't have lane swapping shenanigans. But even that is maybe not a sure thing, because if you're Viking GG, you probably don't want Ricky against that tri-lane, and luckily for them right now, they do not have that.
Viking GG seems really intelligent about their lane setup, and they always seem to be able to get some aggressive vision down, to be able to read, to make sure they do get the lanes that they want.
They planted their ward bottom before Nigma did, so I think they know the Beastmaster's bottom, and they probably saw this ward get planted as well.
Invoker, how do you feel about this Hero Gods? Because I saw some discussion on Reddit about it. There's a lot of people saying this is a trash can of a hero. The numbers don't quite reflect that. He's a little bit below 50% win rate at this tournament, but not too severely.
I don't know about trash can, but he's not in a great place right now. I think it's hard to pull off Invoker. Just feels like you need too much in the way of farm and levels to have an impact. The Quasi-Wex build as his tempo controller seems to struggle a bit in a lot of mid 1v1 matchups, and yeah, I'm not sold on Invoker being the super strong pick in most games.
So do you think it's value in this one?
I think with the kind of Nigma style, very 4 protect 1-ish, that's where the, you can Alacrity up your core. That's always feels nice. I think that's one of your best spells is Alacrity, which is maybe partly why we've seen less Invoker, because no Invoker player is like, okay, you're going to just be using Alacrity.
Yeah.
You want to be throwing Sunstrikes, or at least being like a Tornado EMP with Meteor Hammer, sure, but with Spirit Vessel kind of build.
Right. Arrow. Ooh, Toby barely managed to sidestep this one. This is going to be a hard lane. Even though they got the setup where the Riki's not in that lane, it is very difficult for the Beastmaster just the same. So,
and mind control pretty tanky on the Kunkka. Is not going to have too many problems with the Grimstroke Riki until they get a few more levels. First blood top though, Toby gets a little bit too close, and this time I believe they land the arrow.
Yeah, the enchant slow is so strong even at level 1. And Phoenix, I mean, he had a good reaction earlier. They were harassing Toby. He popped Fire Spirits, hit both the heroes that were right-clicking the Beastmaster, but it's a long cooldown. So Nigma, they know they can just go whenever they kind of have the opportunity.
Definitely one of the strengths of the Luna pick, and something I believe you have to be willing to do is have an aggro tri-lane setup with Luna. It's a hero that wants to always have the edge in the lane, whether that's with an aggro tri-lane or a defensive lane where you have an advantage. You don't want to have the enemy be tri-laning you with a stronger lane. Because I think the Luna's lane is always the important one when you're picking this hero.
Yeah. Enchantress has done really well at this tournament. I have to say, I'm a big fan of the Mirana 4 position against Phoenix. If you have a player that feels confident about playing Mirana, and they do have the setup for it, they have Tornado, as well as a really big one is the Kunkka with the X marks the spot. And I think it could be a really value pickup.
Yeah, especially if the Sunray isn't valuable. I've seen some of these 4 and 5 position Phoenixes not care that their Supernova's cancelled when it's a really good game for Sunray, like you're against those tanky strength off laners, or you have a tanky frontliner yourself. They have got Tiny. Like the Sunray with Tiny is going to look really nice if they hit some kind of a mid-game timing with like a Mask of Madness, SMY Tiny who's sieging or trying to play around Roche and Aegis. But that's a very specific thing this Phoenix can do. And if you don't have the egg in your arsenal, your game is a lot more limited.
Aramis is going to be forced to Icarus dive away. Going back to the Sunray as well, it definitely feels better offensively than defensively, right? It's definitely good for strength cores, but I think I really like the fact you pointed out that Nigma do not actually have those kind of heroes so much. A jump in, they do manage to land the arrow on the Celery. He's probably going to die here, but the Inkswell means that Mind Control is going to cop a lot of damage too, and Shad just might be able to get the kill, Cloak and Dagger, and he jumps down from it very quickly to get that final swing.
Yeah, nicely played by Grimstroke, not panicking when the Mirana shows up. Still make sure to get all of his key spells off, the Inkswell and the Riki. Not himself, since he was going to die. And in the end, I would say Viking GG win that trade, particularly because Mirana's TP is on cooldown. I mean, she's going to stay in this bottom lane now anyways, but Viking GG will just TP back Grimstroke and have an edge down here. So this will free up Toby to have a slightly better lane now, or at least to recover his lane, because he's being pressured heavily. But I think it's the right kind of move from Nigma, because you're at that point where Luna's already level 4. With just 2 heroes up here, you're going to continue to free farm and have some serious kill threat on the Viking GG dual lane.
Poking out. Shad, thanks to his innate regen, can deal with harassment, but he's got to be careful with that arrow.
Whoa,
does trick him. The cloak and dagger was popped a little early there, and they still managed to pull him back into the torrent. Doesn't result in a kill, but an okay amount of damage.
Yeah, he tanked a huge amount of creep damage to try keep that wave away from his tower. I think in the end, definitely not worth it. I'm sure he can say that in hindsight. Particularly with a really well-placed arrow from GH that just set all that up. So he hits him with the arrow with the creep wave on top of him and makes his life difficult. But like you say, very high base regen on Riki, one of this hero's strengths, making this lane a lot more playable.
Is Helmet Dominator the new drums for carries? It seems like Luna just, you don't build this hero without it.
Yeah, it seems Luna especially. I've never seen Luna, like you say, without the helm. I know something Arteezy kind of started in his pub games. Hard to say. I'm trying to think if there's any other carries we're seeing Helm of the Dominator on. I don't believe so.
In which case, why is it so special for Luna?
From what I understand, I know Jenkins actually made one of his YouTube videos about this new build. It's the damage aura stacking, basically. So if you get the Alpha Wolf, you have plus 80% damage for your entire team. And you can use that helm creep to kind of cover some of Luna's weaknesses. Like you could, because you want to aggressively farm or push waves, you can use it to scout. Was one of the things he brought up that you can do. You can stack jungle camps with it, like the old school Helm of the Dominator style, which was so popular on so many carries. So I think just the the utility of having this creep that can stack camps and scout for you kind of helps Luna play a bit more aggressively.
Fair enough.
But I mean, I think all in all, it's just like a decent team item that you hit this mid-game timing with, you have a nice aura, and we're going to see Miracle get another kill up top. This is 3 points in Lucid Beam, posing a serious threat.
Yeah, it's Enchantress. She's pretty brutal. She's already a strong laner, and then you add in the aura coming in from the Lunar Blessing, amping up armor and damage.
Yeah, level 1 enchant is pretty nuts with the slow.
How's Boom doing in the mid lane? It looks like net worth-wise, he is a bit behind that Invoker. Probably been copping a lot of damage playing in that lane. I imagine he's spent a decent amount on regen, whereas Weehaw, he doesn't have to do that because he's a Quas Wex Invoker. Regen just comes with the package.
Yep. He's A-okay. Isn't the one going for the Urn or Spirit Vessel, at least for now, has a Force Stuff queued up as his first item. Definitely an item you always want to get against the Riki, but a bit surprised to see it before any kind of an Urn.
Tornado EMP, just another play to make sure that Boom doesn't have the mana to be able to threaten him. Cloak and Dagger, that'll dodge the boat. Nicely done by Shad as they manage to kill GH.
Yeah. Oh, another kill top. This Luna's just having such a fantastic time. Once you have an advantage in your lane as Luna, it feels so good because you have these high-level Lucid Beams that just destroy any hero who comes in the air.
Shad keeps Shad away, no Inkswell damage, but Weehaw did rotate underneath the guise of that pressure, so if he does not find a kill from this, he's going to be pretty disappointed, especially since it's a good opportunity. He's got a double damage. There is the wards on the high ground, though.
Yeah, they see him coming. They put up a ward themselves. That'll get dewarded instantly. But Nigma, all that was happening, took the top tier 1 tower. They kept their siege creep alive for a full 8 minutes just with the static wave. And as a result, once they got a kill, they were able to just push forward. And Miracle, not even skilling his ultimate, wants to make sure he can get those maxed out Moonglaves at a good time. They scale so well when you hit that 4th point. And he's able to steal the Beastmaster's boar and will force a TP.
Okay. Well, that is a very scary Luna now. That boar is pretty potent with that movement speed slow.
Yep.
Add in, it's actually hitting so hard. The Helmet Dominator and the Lunar Blessing.
Yeah, this game's looking not great for Viking GG right now. I think they're going to be all in on this Tiny carry basket. Looking to play that kind of hard carry Tiny we've seen a bit of from them, as well as from Nigma with the IO Tiny. It's going to be all about buffing him up with the Beastmaster or the Mask of Madness kind of carry. I don't think it's going to be any Blink build. He's got Mask queued up for now. He didn't go for any kind of Soul Ring or Magic Stick, and when you're playing against Quaswex Invoker, that to me basically says you're just looking to hit creeps. He maxed out his tree throw, so he's all about the farm.
Yeah. Trying to get to that point in game 1, where we saw a right-click Tiny from Miracle.
Yep.
Just beast moding it. The Phoenix will take the outpost at a distance. Thanks to the Icarus dive, they'll get the experience, but they will lose out on the gold. In fact, all 4 of the bounties is going to go Nigma's way.
Yeah. Nigma with really good map control. And they took over the ancient side of the map. Normally you see Radiant playing more around the top jungle, but once they took that top tier 1 tower, they've rotated their entire team except for Miracle to this bottom side of the map. And I think this is where that home creep can be really nice, is this kind of like defensive ward for you as a Luna up here. But GH on Mirana in some trouble. Gets Inkswell stunned from Invis and just blowing up. Viking GG need this Riki just to fight right now. You can't wait for Diffusal. You just have to keep going for kills while Tiny farms. Like, you can't have your 2 cores farming in a game which is quickly getting out of hand.
Toby's going to TP in, looks for the Primal Roar, but a Tornado matches him for Shad, who had jumped in with the Inkswell on him. It got dispelled by that Tornado, and so both initiations were ruined by 1 spell from Weehaw.
Really nicely played. Maybe this Tornado on the Invoker is one of the solutions to the aggressive Riki Grimstroke combo.
2-man Torrent from Mind Control that leads to a beautiful arrow. That's going to lock down Shad. They already got the kill on Celery. Shad is still alive, though. They didn't really have a whole lot of damage to follow that up. Boom. The boat on its way, the Primal War. That's going to be able to stall up. The arrow's going to cut by, actually hits a creep instead, so Boom is able to walk away to freedom.
That good old level 1 Sunray.
Yeah.
The tickle spell.
Yeah.
And Miracle continuing to free farm away here at the top lane. Having a fantastic uncontested free farm kind of game. And kill after kill.
Arrow. This is looking rough. I feel like Viking GG may be the better place to go for the pickoff on Miracle, which
absolutely
they're trying for now, but they have no stuns. Inkswell placed preemptively on Aramis as he TP'd in.
I think they're just too used to this idea that this triangle is their area of the map to hold on to, but Nigma have invested 4 heroes to just sit on this triangle for the last 2 to 3 minutes, and they have like vision control. They dewarded 2 Dire Wards. Viking GG did manage to get another down, but I just don't think you can play in this part of the map when you're behind in terms of farm and items. Like if Riki had like a Diffusal and your Beastmaster had a better game, Beastmaster doesn't even have boots right now. He's got Windlace and Faded Brooch, so he's got some movement speed, but it's like this early game's gone really poorly for you. Take the easy fights, don't take the hard fights.
Definitely feels like Nigma read their draft and said, okay, Rika's in here until Diffusal. Beastmaster needs to farm. He's just a farming offlaner. And Tiny, well, unless he's going to go Blink first, he's not that active either.
Yep. Yeah, they've done a good job and put Viking GG under a lot of pressure here. All 3 tier 1 towers have been claimed, and doing a good job making sure you don't just take the towers, but you maintain that map control. As mid lane poking at Aramis, just constant EMPs. Anytime any hero comes to a lane,
they have the Hawk, but the Inkswell had already exploded, so GH is able to leap away before the smoke screen is out. He still gets caught by the Primal Roar, though, from Toby. So nice pick from Viking GG, but it doesn't undo the 5,000 net worth deficit they're currently looking at.
Yeah, it feels like Miracle's just getting away with way too much solo farm up in this top lane. I would love to see like one hero, like a Beastmaster, try go up there and gank around the outpost or the tower, set up with a Roar as somebody TPs in, for example, but just feels like they're way too preoccupied with the constant Nigma pressure down bottom.
Weehaw's choice of the Force Staff, like you were saying, to deal with the Riki and his smoke screen. It has delayed the urn, but he's going to go back for it now.
Yep. I think either order could have worked fine. Like, I don't feel like he's needed the force staff because Nigma are the ones ahead playing aggressively, but you never know. Like, he could get gone on by one blink strike into Inkswell stun and just be picked off because of it, so plays it safe.
Moonlight Shadow. One of the other things I love about Mirana, feels like you have infinite smokes, right? Because that's just basically what Moonlight Shadow is. They have to lay out a lot of sentries, otherwise it's just nice smoke rotation every, what is it, 90 seconds or something like that?
Oh no, it's a bit longer.
140 at level 1, goes down to 100.
Yeah, it used to be really low back when Mirana was like top meta 4 position, and it was one of the things that got heavily nerfed. But Viking GG, I think, starting to feel a bit stronger now. They've got just good levels on like the Riki, even pre-defusal, he's a pretty good team fighter. They come to this banner in a bit late. They could have actually found Miracle if they were maybe 5 seconds quicker, and that would have been a huge kill for him to get. They may still find him here. They've got Shad Invis, and he can scout for this.
Give him the Inkswell. Grimstroke.
The Helm Creep, maybe?
Not quite close enough yet. Are they afraid that maybe the Luna has a little bit more backup?
They need a +1.
It breaks now, and that Helma Dominator creep spies him.
Yep.
Damn.
That's the exact play that Jenkins was talking about. You just position that Helm Creep to scout out ganks coming when you're farming. Like, you don't need it to actually tank for you. You've got the regen from the Helm itself. And in that scenario, I guess they didn't feel like they had the damage without the Beastmaster Roar, so they were waiting for Toby to show up before they initiated.
Yeah, I guess with no Diffusal Blade and only level 1 Smokescreen, you're pretty much working with just the stun of Inkswell. Yeah. Because he's not going to be slowed down for long after that.
And once you have to chase for the kill, like you're around multiple enemy towers, you're probably thinking, maybe we get the kill, but we're going to all 2 or 3 of us die for this kill.
They are going to have a Crimson Guard soon on Mind Control. Always a good answer to any of these summons units like the Beastmaster, but it'll also be a good way to slow down the damage of the Riki. They're going to deal with these boars. They're going to get in position, though. They do have to jump forward. The Inkswell, but immediately the Force Staff comes into play. At the same time, the Kunkka's going to be targeted here. Toss over from Kuro. Lands him on top. They do manage to get the 2-man Soulbind with that Supernova out, but they haven't quite done the damage. That boat buff mixed with the innate tankiness of an Enchantress with Bracer and Strength Treads and a Kunkka at that, they couldn't kill anything.
Couldn't kill anyone. They're just not quite on line ready to fight. Tiny's got to kind of get a few more items, it feels like, at least the SMY, and now it's Nigma's turn to find some easy pickoffs. Kills for them come way more straightforwardly. They've got plenty of damage. And into Roshan, it looks like. They've maxed out the Sacred Arrow, so they've got that full max stun. Things looking pretty good for Nigma here. 7k gold lead just 17 minutes in. Yeah. Okay, good kill on GH. That's a good way to start things off. They actually run to the Roshan pit, but it doesn't look like they're going to. Yep. They're a bit too afraid of Nigma trying to punish them for that kill. They move towards it now, and Nigma is still slow, even with the alacrity. They might get here in time.
Possibly, if they can actually get Shad there. Shad sees an opportunity to go for Kuro, and he's going to take that instead. The 2 supports are dead. Now the cores make their way out of the Roshan pit with the Aegis. Viking GG. Are they able to take this fight? Eclipse going out. Boom. He's rather tanky, though. He's not immediately going to be dying. He survives through most of this, but the limited damage afterwards is enough. Miracle pushed to the side by the Paramla Roar. Isn't able to pursue on anybody, but Kuro is. He bought back after all. Showed up, an arrow, nailed Celery. That'll be a 2nd kill for them.
One of those times where Kuro's positioning, feeding his life away there, is perfect, because if he's not positioned out of the pit and they run into the pit with that Inkswell, they get caught before Roshan dies. So Kuro, while he's a free kill for Viking GG, he buys him time to finish off Roshan on the Nigma side. Oh, the spray underneath the tier 3 tower.
Damn, will you, huh?
That's making a statement after game number 2. You know, you guys farmed heroes for 25+ minutes and made us look bad. We're going to do the same to you, they say here in game number 3.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how long that game 2 went and how bad of a beating it was. matters is who gets 2 victories. And here, GH, it's a small victory himself, able to leap away, but Weehaw gets caught in the crossfires. Tornado gets him a little bit farther away. They try and counter the Spirit Vessel that was placed on him by the Phoenix, but he dies anyway. Turn around, they do have the vision to be able to spot him. X marks the spot onto Shad. The arrow that was coming in got blocked by the creep, and now Shad stays on top of him with the Inkswell. Wanted to go for GH, not for the cores.
There's a roar in 5 seconds.
They have it coming in soon. Toby, who's he going to be targeting here? Miracle still has the Aegis to be able to work with, but it looks like they want to take that away. The arrow, it nails Shad, and they see him too. They're going to start throwing some damage at him. Looks like Mind Control was almost able to finish him off the Tidebringer, but it wasn't quite enough. Still has the X on him, but Mind Control under assault from Boom. He takes the big stick and beats him to pieces. Shad gets away while they lose the Aegis on Miracle as well. But this is Viking GG. They've pushed far enough. Now it's time to be able to retreat as Weehaw comes back into the fight. Boom, turns around, Avalanche, knowing that he's dead. He just does what damage he can, stuns him up, tries to go for a TP that is entirely in vain.
Yeah. Decent fight in the end for Nigma. They lose the Aegis, Kunkka, and even early on in the fight, Weehaw the first to die. But they punish Viking GG for chasing a bit far, and I think the biggest play that Nigma made that fight was Mind Control. He turned and got one Tidebringer off that killed a boar and finished off the Phoenix, who was Sunray. Phoenix had Supernova, but didn't use it, and perhaps just didn't see that Tidebringer cleave coming through to finish him off, because Viking GG really needed that egg in that fight. And
losing
Nigma,
little time.
yeah,
Nigma
they're not
quickly
messing around.
They push their advantage. They have Mind Control teeping in onto the Shrine. The Alacrity onto Miracle. Begins a short assault on the tier 3, but it doesn't take much for him to back up.
What's the play here? Viking GG. It's hard for them to team fight. Their big spell, the Supernova, is just so well countered by all these ranged cores, and even the 2 supports, Ench and Mirana, decent for hitting an egg as well. So difficult times for them. They're looking to just continue to beef up their Tiny. He's their tanky frontline carry, who needs to find a way to catch up to Miracle.
Viking GG, they placed the obvious ward on that high ground cliff, but it was a ward to see if they could win a fight here. Sadly for them, Nigma actually back away from that area because they're closing in on some pretty important items, like the BKB on the Luna. She almost has her level 3 Eclipse as well. Is there anything else? Spirit Vessel is almost done for Weehaw as well.
Yeah, Nigma feel like it's their time to go fight. They've got this mech on GH, so they've got some decent team items, but Viking GG themselves have hit some good item timing, so they're ready to make their next move. Roar back up. They've got Necro 3 on Beast. What can they find?
Playing around this ward. Nigma. Just a blind torrent. Doesn't know it landed on anything.
Oh, Mind Control to run in.
But he breaks it now. Primal Roar. They set up. They can blow up Mind Control before he gets off the boat and be massive, but he still gets it off anyway. Now the Luna comes in with the Eclipse and the BKB, and he's letting those glaives fly. Taking down the 2. The Supernova not going to explode in time. They get that kill as well. It looks like Shad and Celery may be the only ones to escape. Celery certainly not going to. Weehaw. All his movement speed looks to chase him down. He puts the Inkswell onto the Illusion to try and slow down the pursuit. All of them are able to work their way around him, though. Eventually find that 4th kill to finish the fight and push down mid. Loser, he sprays again.
Yeah, I don't think there's much that can stop Nigma's push anymore. They just didn't have the damage. Mind Control got the Crimson Guard off right before the Roar came in. It looked bad when he tried to force stamp him away, but it got cancelled. Now that force stamps can be interrupted, so he was stuck in place, but he was just too much survivability. Double bracer, phase boots, Crimson, all the armor in the world. Viking GG with some damage problems.
If they actually manage to kill a little bit more, this might not just be 1 lane of barracks, but 2.
Looks like with the respawns, they're going to play it safe and back off. Everyone crimsoned up, so plenty of damage mitigation against the summons and necrobooks of Toby, as well as the Ricky. Definitely an Nigma team that's in no rush. You've got Luna. She's the scariest of late game carries this game, particularly when she's this far ahead of the Tiny and net worth, so they're in no rush.
Viking GG, they go out. A toss forward gets Shad right on top of Weehan. It looks like that could be enough damage. The Deafening Blast was enough to stop Shad, but not enough to stop the tree that was flying through the air, coming straight at him. 40 seconds down. Viking GG. What can they do with this timing? GH is already inside of their base, reminding them that you can't go for objectives without a little bit of base damage here. Kuro's going to be the next target as they push past this mid-tier 1 tower, taking the support out of the equation. The boat's already been used as well, so this is Viking GG. If anything, you have free reign.
They push fast, Cap. These auras with a tiny, you got to be careful. And they've figured out where Miracle is. They're running at Miracle. He's got to be careful. He does not have a TP for 5 seconds here, and
if these
Shadow scout him
continue.
out. Oh, here maybe a second too late. I don't believe he caught vision, and Miracle will TP just in time. That was so close to getting a massive kill.
Worst part is they're going to see that helmet dominated creep and know that he was right there.
Yeah. Definitely an element of Miracle, just understanding the timings of when they left that mid lane after getting a kill and how long he had to farm at that top lane before needing to TP out. His net worth is just insane right now. Almost double the tiny. The butterfly complete. Whew.
Last time these teams faced up against each other was ESL One LA, where Nigma did take down Viking GG 2-0 in the groups. But Viking GG, they had a much better run at ESL One LA, placing 3rd, where Nigma, they dropped out early to Chicken Fighters.
And even since that last ESL tournament where they got 3rd place, I feel like Viking GG has come a long way and improved since then. That's the scary thing with this team. They've shown a lot more versatility with some of their drafts and their strats, but Nigma with the edge here in Game 3. With a significant edge when you see Miracle's farm.
Yeah, it's a pretty big one. He has almost doubled up the Tiny's net worth. In fact, you combine the Tiny and the Riki, he has that amount. So we're going to watch the Phoenix die. Aramis pokes his little beak too far outside of the base. Gets it swiftly removed. Back to another mid lane push. I'm sure Nigma, they've got plenty of options.
Yeah, Phoenix was just trying to hit that level 12 there. But for now, they'll TP Luna back with the X. Miracle will push out the wave.
The pop Manta to lit his illusions. Keep that top lane pushing in and still be here for the rest of his team. At this point, I guess you just control the game until the next Roshan to solidify your lead. After all, that's what Viking GG did to you.
Yep, I think that's generally how most teams are playing this patch. You're not in any rush to go high ground. And, you know, these towers have been getting buffed over the last few patches. More health, just more difficult to push high ground in general. So Nigma will play it patiently, wait for maybe a kill to poke its way out of the base, and perhaps Boom's done just that.
So by launching onto 2, they're going to lead off with the boat on the stun that is on the Tiny. Looks like he may just get chain stun here as the Eclipse goes out to finish him off, and that is enough. A torrent from Mind Control helps signal that kill, and now he does not have buyback. Is that because of gold or time?
That's because of gold. He bought out to get this Hyperstone.
All right, so Nigma, they may have seen the item, but they don't know for sure that the Tiny doesn't have buyback. As a result, they're being a bit cautious.
Got that Alpha Wolf. They're pushing incredibly fast with all this bonus damage.
Oh, Toby! You gotta watch out for those glaives, the Alacrity glaives. He is a casualty before the fight has even begun. Now they're gonna pop the Supernova. GH thought he was gonna go into it. It seems like, buddy, that is a call to get out. We just let that Supernova explode, reset, and go in again.
Round 2. They haven't got the melee racks, but you come near that melee racks as Luna's hitting it, it will melt you. But luckily for them, Luna's BKB still on cooldown. Seems like Nigma are happy to back off. A double damage awaits them by the Roshan pit. They'll be happy to see, I'm sure.
Yeah. That DD probably means that Roshan dies so quickly that even if Viking GG were to push out, they may not be fast enough. We'll see. They're outside of the base now. They definitely know Nigma's not around here. But is Nigma going to force a fight onto them? Okay, they use the X to send Mind Control back to pick up a gem.
I like this. You know, you're kind of feeling like the game's in the books here. You know, Viking GG may make a last-ditch effort to contest Roshan. Cover all your bases.
Some of this DD going, and they spotted too. Boom's trying to get out of the way, but he got hit by a torn up into the high ground. Now X, now both. They do have the Primal Roar that's controlling up Miracle, but they can't really get close to him. They can't really fight into him. As you can see, Toby, he's got to run away. Boom is being kited around by Curl right now, making sure that Boom can't get away. Miracle's going to help finish him off with the double kill. A godlike spree for him. The X stops the TP out. Shad, he's trying to run away, but it looks like Nigma, they split up and marked all their targets. They're saying, I've got this guy, you get that guy. Nobody from Viking GG is allowed to escape from this team fight.
One by one, they all fall down. It's GG. Viking put up a good fight, but this game 3 was not pretty for them. They had no answer for the aggressive tri-lane of the Luna. They wrecked the lane, and from there it was just straightforward. Miracle's just getting all the farm in the